Good afternoon. This is Alex here with the Casting Academy.
And my name is Jacob. And we're going to be casting a game today between Liquid Hero in the bottom right and Liquid Taeja in the top left.
Absolutely. This is coming from the ASUS ROG Summer Invitational 2012, the quarterfinal matchup. Taeja finishing first, going 2-0 in Group B, and Hero finishing second in his group, Group A. His only loss in that group coming from MC, where he lost 3-1.
Alright, we're just going to actually be getting started on our builds here. We've got the pylon dropping for Liquid Hero, and Taeja's going to be dropping that supply depot this second as well.
So we've talked about it before, about this is coming from a period of time where Taeja was seeing a lot of success, and not to say that his success has been any worse recently, but this was, he was on fire. He was beating anybody. What does Hero have to do to try to combat Taeja's very unique style of Terran, this very dominant style of Terran?
Well, I think one of Hero's strengths is that he is very unpredictable in terms of like what kind of builds he goes for. He does a lot of unstandard play on his stream if you ever take the time to watch that. And it's honestly, it's going to be a game of trying to really not so much outplay him, but see if he can take him by surprise by some kind of strange timing or build. Just because Taeja's micro, especially once he's macroed and got a large army behind it, is almost unstoppable at this point.
Absolutely. And just a quick note, there was a barracks at the top of Taeja's natural that was building. It was spotted by Hero, scouted. We also see an early gas from Hero as well. So he's not doing the gasless fast expand, that not going for that hyper macro build. This is still a relatively safe build, but I'm really curious to see how he transitions from this lack of a fast expansion with all this extra gas that he's compiling right now.
Right, yeah, he had originally tried to hide that barracks to see if he could make Hero overreact, but he almost instantly spotted it. And yeah, you're right on the lack of the expansion there. Looks like he's got the early gas, so he could be going for a whole lot of things. A 1-1-1, some kind of early 2-racks aggression maybe. And it's just going to be up to Hero to see what he decides to do. He's still playing rather standard now with regular gas timings. Canceled the Zealot's got the cybernetic score coming up as we speak.
And we see the factory coming down for Taeja, almost certainly a 1-1-1 at this point, or some variant. And the probe sees the factory come down. He sees everything. Hero on point with his scouting with that probe, even as he is macroing back at his base.
It's always impressive to see a pro-level player be able to keep their probes alive for so long. I know mine always just thrown into the mineral line, and that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we see that Hero actually hasn't dropped an expansion himself, and we see some chrono being saved up on this Nexus, is almost assuredly on purpose. Are we going to see some kind of early aggression from Hero in response to what Taeja's been doing, or what does this mean, Hero's build right here?
Well, he's getting these 3 gateways. It could be, it looks like he's actually going to go ahead and chrono off that warp gate. I was unsure. I thought he might be going for some kind of stalker timing or something, but it looks like he's got sentries here for defense. What he doesn't have is, if this is going to be a 1-1-1 play, is any kind of detection for like a Cloak's Banshee or something. But it actually looks like Taeja's going to go ahead and drop this command center up here.
All right, he's going to go straight to the expansion. Some stalker doing some harass to the supply depot wall.
Base is under attack.
And it looks like Hero actually was able to spot that command center by hopping up that wall, so he will know that the expansion is coming for Taeja, and it's going to be up to him to decide whether he wants to go into some kind of all-out aggression on a one-base play, or to go ahead and macro himself behind it.
Now, we don't see a 4th gate or a robo or any kind of extra tech structures from Hero, which I find personally a little bit interesting, just because I don't find him, he's not really committing to anything. He's saving up those minerals, probably going to be an expansion pretty soon, I would imagine. Out of that, or a big warp in and a huge aggressive push. He is putting several offensive pylons in order, and there comes the stalker warp in.
3 stalkers coming in now. And he's got these 2 sentries moving across the field as well.
There are no bunkers, and there's really not that many units on the field. We look at the Army tab, we have 5 Marines and a Hellion. I don't know that Taeja can hold this.
It looks like Taeja was going for all macro, and this play may just take him by surprise. I don't know if he's... You're right. I don't know if he's going to have anything to actually hold this pressure off.
Stim is so far away, not a single Marauder on the field.
He's gonna have to pull SCVs.
No, but it's not gonna be enough. The reinforcing capability is going to be too strong. The pylon at the bottom of the ramp.
And there's the GG. Oh my goodness. That was one of the quickest games I've seen in a long time.
Over lightning fast. I think really there, Taeja more beat himself than anything else. The reality is that he went for some kind of, and perhaps it's just my lack of knowledge, but the reality is that he went for this weird, hiding the barracks isn't that big of a deal by itself, but he went from that into a factory that it didn't seem like he knew what he wanted to do with. He didn't do honestly, I think he wanted to do the 1-1-1 and thought better of it and decided, well, no, I'm going to macro this up out of this very aggressive opening, not doing the fast expand, and Hero saw everything. There wasn't a single moment where Hero missed what was in Taeja's base. The command center on the top, the original hiding of the barracks. I believe he might have even caught a glimpse of the factory while it was placed in the low ground. And Hero knew that Taeja was in a weakened state, and he sat at the front of his main with that single stalker, while Taeja only had 3 Marines. And honestly, I think it was at that point that Hero knew for sure that an aggressive play could really do a lot of damage.
Right. And what was really interesting about Hero's play is that he only went on 3 gates. Like he didn't do your classic, 4 gate like you would expect from something like this. So it almost wasn't like an entire all in, because the timing on the warp ins would have actually probably allowed him to drop another expansion. Yeah, look at this. There's actually a probe at the natural right now, ready to drop an expansion. Only 5 more minerals needed for Hero. So if that push had not done the damage that he needed, he would have just dropped an expansion and been A-OK.
And I think that even in that situation, where Hero loses some of these units and ends up being repelled, Hero still ends up in the lead. He's still in the lead because Taeja has that extra expansion up there, but he's already so close. And this was going to do some damage regardless of whether it was repelled or not.
Right. He just knew that there was no way he could have nearly enough army on the field. It was a really nice scout that he was able to get to see the barracks at the top of the ramp there.
Absolutely. Well, that finishes up game 1 of this quarter-final matchup. Hero taking what I believe is an upset win over Taeja. Can he continue success? It is yet to be seen.
We may be casting the rest of those games. One of our earlier sample casts was actually of a game later in this series, so feel free to check it out on our channel if you'd like. We appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a great one.